If you are planning a trip for 2026, this is probably the worst time to copy everyone else's travel itinerary. Because while millions of people are rushing to the same overexposed places, prices are getting pushed higher, lines are getting longer, and before you know it, the whole dream trip starts feeling less like freedom and more like a waiting room with a view. And the fact is, this year 2026 is even worse, especially with the FIFA World Cup running from June 11 to July 19th across the United States, Mexico, and Canada, which is going to pull huge volumes of travelers and spending into North America. So, this video is not about the places everyone already knows. This is about where your money still stretches, where the experience still feels rich, and where the crowd-to-value ratio still makes sense. And here is the formula for that. Your 2026 travel value is basically experience quality divided by daily cost multiplied by tourist density. In other words, the less you pay and the fewer people elbowing you out of your own vacation photo, the better the trip feels. And stay with me, because number one on this list is the place that might be the best budget-to-beauty trade in travel right now. But most casual travelers still are not booking it right. Let's start from the top, number 10. Before we jump in, if you enjoy budget travel content that helps you save money and still have amazing experiences, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That support helps us keep creating more videos like this. Number 10 is Chiang Mai, Thailand. If you want temples, mountain air, markets, cafes, and food prices that do not insult your wallet, Chiang Mai still delivers. The current cost baseline is strong. Numbeo's April 2026 data puts an inexpensive restaurant meal at about 70 baht and a 3-course mid-range meal for 2 at about 625 baht. It also estimates a single person's monthly costs excluding rent at around $575, and overall living costs in Chiang Mai are roughly 48% lower than in Houston, with restaurant prices more than 70% lower. What makes Chiang Mai powerful for 2026 is not just that it is cheap. It is that it still feels layered. You can have a morning in the old city, an afternoon cafe hopping, and a completely different atmosphere by sunset in the night markets. The official tourism authority of Thailand still positions Chiang Mai as one of the country's core cultural destinations, and that mix of tradition plus easy infrastructure is exactly why it keeps surviving trend cycles. The downside is seasonal air quality. If you go in the wrong period, especially around the burning season, the atmosphere can become frustrating fast. So, yes, it is budget-friendly, but timing matters. Number 9 is Sibiu, Romania. This one is for people who want Europe without the constant financial punishment. Sibiu gives you old-town architecture, Transylvanian atmosphere, walkability, and a much calmer pace than the continent's usual headline cities. The official Sibiu City Guide leans heavily into its heritage, events, and compact urban experience, and that is exactly the appeal here. It feels polished without feeling priced for influencers. The numbers are part of the story too. Numbeo's April 2026 data puts a meal at an inexpensive restaurant at about 47.56 lei and a 3-course meal for 2 at around 178.75 lei. A single person's monthly costs excluding rent are roughly $621, and living in Sibiu is substantially cheaper than in larger Western cities. The reason Sibiu works so well on a budget list is because it does not feel like a compromised destination. This will feel like the smarter choice, but it's not. The catch is that it is not a non-stop adrenaline destination, and if someone wants beaches, nightlife, and chaos, this is not that. Sibiu is more about atmosphere, charm, and value. Number 8 is Ohrid, North Macedonia. Stop assuming you need Croatia prices to get lake views and historic stone streets. Ohrid is one of those places that makes you wonder how it is not way more expensive already. The official Ohrid tourism materials lean into exactly what makes it special: culture, lakefront scenery, and deep heritage. North Macedonia's official tourism platform also pushes Ohrid as one of its flagship destinations. On cost, North Macedonia remains one of the more affordable countries in Europe. Numbeo's April 2026 country data estimates a single person's monthly costs excluding rent at about $601, with overall costs around 49% lower than the United States. What makes Ohrid powerful in 2026 is that it gives you a water and history trip, without the summer in the Adriatic sticker shock. The drawback is that outside peak season, the atmosphere can get quieter than some travelers expect. That is either peaceful or boring, depending on your personality. If you are enjoying the video so far, and it is helping you discover better places to travel for less, please like the video, share it, and subscribe. It really supports the channel and helps us keep making this kind of content. Number 7 is Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Sarajevo is the kind of destination that feels far more emotionally memorable than its price tag suggests. You get Ottoman, Austro-Hungarian, and Yugoslav layers colliding in one city, plus cafes, mountain views, and food that still feels underpriced relative to the experience. Bosnia's official tourism platform highlights Sarajevo as one of the country's top anchors, and the US State Department currently notes that no tourist visa is required for stays under 3 months for US travelers. Numbeo's current April 2026 data estimates a single person's monthly costs in Sarajevo, excluding rent, at about $772 to $775, with rent around 88% lower than in New York. It also rates the city's cost of living index as low. Why Sarajevo belongs on this list is simple. It still feels real. It has not been polished into tourist wallpaper. The downside is that some infrastructure and service expectations may feel rougher if someone is used to Western Europe's smoother systems. That roughness is part of the city's texture, but not everyone loves it. Number 6 is Tbilisi, Georgia. Tbilisi is one of the best value urban trips you can make in 2026 if you want food, wine, old world atmosphere, and a city that still feels creatively alive. Georgia's official tourism platform highlights Tbilisi's sulfur baths, canyons, mountains, and cultural sites. And the US State Department still says US citizens do not need a tourist visa for stays of 365 days or less. But there is one 2026 specific detail people should know. Starting January 1st, 2026, Georgia requires tourists to show valid health and accident insurance at the border. On cost, Tbilisi remains strong. Numbeo's April 2026 data puts a cheap restaurant meal at about 33.89 GEL and a 3-course meal for 2 at around 110.80 GEL. It estimates a single person's monthly costs excluding rent at around $630, with overall living costs roughly 44% lower than Salt Lake City. This is one of those places where the budget part sneaks up on you because the experience does not feel cheap. It feels textured. The weakness is that the hills, uneven streets, and older infrastructure can be tiring if you want a frictionless city break. Number 5 is Bansko, Bulgaria. Now this is where the list starts getting more strategic. If your 2026 vibe is mountains, laptop-friendly cafes, skiing or hiking, and a cost base below Western Europe, Bansko is a real contender. Numbeo's April 2026 data shows Bulgaria's overall cost of living, including rent, is about 50% lower than the United States, with rent more than 72% lower. And in February 2026, Euronews reported that Bulgaria's digital nomad scheme, introduced in December 2025, opened a clearer route for non-EU remote workers, while Bansko itself has been drawing a cosmopolitan community of digital nomads. That 2026 angle matters. Some places are cheap but disconnected. Bansko is cheap and increasingly networked. That combination is rare. The trade-off is obvious. This is not your tropical fantasy destination. It is mountains, seasons, co-working, and outdoor life. Also, if you go expecting a giant city, you are going to feel boxed in. Number 4 is Mérida, Mexico. If you like the idea of Mexico, but you are tired of hearing the same 2 beach cities over and over, Mérida is the smarter play. Yucatan's official tourism channels position the state as a cultural and historical gateway, and the city's own official tourism identity pushes Mérida as a center for food, culture, and local life. On the safety side, the US State Department currently lists Yucatan State at level 1, meaning exercise normal precautions. And the budget math is solid. Numbeo's 2026 comparison data suggests you need around 78,715 MXN in Mexico City to match a lifestyle that costs about 61,000 MXN in Mérida, and around 122,393 MXN in Austin to match that same 61,000 MXN standard in Mérida. That is why Mérida works so well for 2026. It gives you color, food, architecture, and access to the Yucatan region, but without forcing you into the highest pressure tourist machine. The weakness is the heat. If you do not handle humidity well, Mérida can humble you fast. Number 3 is Kraków, Poland. Kraków is what happens when a city feels expensive in atmosphere, but not in spending. It has the square, the old town, the cafes, the nightlife, the history, and enough polish to feel like a premium European city without London, Paris, or Amsterdam prices. Krakow's official tourism resources keep highlighting its heritage core, And Poland's tourism infrastructure around the city remains very mature. The numbers back it up. Numbo's April 2026 data puts an inexpensive restaurant meal at 40 zloty and a 3-course dinner for 2 at 200 zloty. A single person's monthly costs excluding rent are about $882. Compared with Chicago, overall living costs excluding rent are roughly 35.5% lower, restaurant prices about 38.9% lower, and rent around 61.5% lower. Why does this matter? Because Krakow is one of the few places where a budget traveler can still feel like they booked a classy trip. The catch is that it is not a secret. It is more affordable luxury than hidden gem, so expect other travelers to have figured that out too. Number 2 is Vietnam's Ha Giang region. If your version of value is not just saving money, but getting a trip that feels unforgettable, Ha Giang is one of the strongest budget picks of 2026. Vietnam's official tourism platform continues to push generous entry options, including 90-day e-visas for all nationalities and 45-day visa-free access for travelers from 24 nations. That alone makes Vietnam easier to plan than many people realize. Cost is where Vietnam starts looking ridiculous in the best way. Numbeo's April 2026 Hanoi data puts an inexpensive meal at about 55,000 dong, a 3-course meal for 2 at about 700,000 dong, and monthly costs for a single person excluding rent at about $463. Compared with New York, living costs in Hanoi are roughly 71.5% lower, excluding rent, and restaurant prices are about 81.7% lower. Now here is the anti-highlight, because you need the truth, not fantasy. The Ha Giang Loop is stunning, but it is not casual. The Guardian reported new safety concerns this April after the death of a British teenager on the route, with locals and operators warning about narrow roads, unpredictable weather, rock slides, and inexperienced riders. So yes, it is visually insane and incredibly affordable, but do not treat it like a cute scooter postcard. Use a reputable operator and respect the road. And now number 1. The best budget place to travel in 2026 is the Albanian Riviera. Not because it is the absolute cheapest place on this list. Vietnam probably wins that. But because the value-to-beauty ratio is still absurd. Albania's official tourism platforms keep putting the Riviera front and center, highlighting villages like Dermi, Himare, Cheparo, Borsh, and Lukove, along with clear water, bays, and a coast that still feels less commercialized than the bigger Mediterranean names. For U.S. travelers, the State Department says no tourist visa is required. On price, Tirana's April 2026 Numbeo data gives a useful baseline. An inexpensive meal is about 1,000 lek, a 3-course meal for 2, around 4,685.87 lek, and a single person's monthly costs excluding rent around $800. Rent in Tirana is more than 82% lower than New York. And Albania's broader tourism rise has been strong enough that Reuters previously described foreign travelers as being pulled not just by the seaside, but by the attraction of discovering a new frontier, while more recent reporting points to continued growth into 2026. That phrase matters because that is exactly what the Albanian Riviera still feels like. A frontier phase. Not untouched, not unknown, but not fully swallowed either. And here is the warning. That window may not stay open forever. Prices and visibility are rising, connectivity is improving, and more North American travelers are noticing it. So, if you want that "I found this before it exploded" feeling, Albania is one of the strongest plays you can make for 2026. So, if I had to break this down simply, Chiang Mai is one of the easiest food and culture bargains. Sibiu and Ohrid are for the traveler who wants Europe without the usual spending pain. Sarajevo and Tbilisi are for people who want character over Polish. Bansko is for the mountain and remote work crowd. Merida is the smart Mexico alternative. Krakow is affordable luxury. Ha Giang is the adventure bargain. And the Albanian Riviera is the one with the biggest beauty-to-budget shock factor right now. Before you leave, tell me this. Are you more into cheap luxury, mountain adventure, or beach value in 2026? Because depending on your answer, the best place on this list is not the same for everyone. And that is exactly why most people overspend. They book the famous place, not the right place. I hope this video helped you. Like, share, and subscribe for more travel tips. Every bit of support you give helps us keep making more useful travel videos like this. And it really does make a difference to us. Thanks for watching.